Woman came to the hotel with her son to work and pay off her husband's debt, but she was shocked to discover that her recently released poor husband had rented out the entire hotel for another woman's birthday, and he immediately spent $3 million on a luxury handbag. It was only then that the woman realized her husband had been pretending to be poor. Back then, despite her family's objections, she chose to be with her poor husband. After marriage, in order to share the pressure with her husband, she had to work 3 jobs every day to support the family. But her husband not only never contributed a penny to the household, he was even sent to detention for not repaying his debts. The woman collected scraps with her son to save money. Only then was she able to bail her husband out. The man swore he would never let them suffer again. But after dinner, he left the house, claiming he was looking for a job. The woman couldn't bear her husband struggling alone to support the family. So, she took her son to work part-time at the hotel. It was then that she discovered her husband was with another woman. They even had a child together. The woman then overheard a conversation among the crowd. Her husband was not only the owner of this hotel, but also an heir to a multi-billion-dollar fortune. Watching her husband casually spend millions on gifts, yet the only gift he gave his son was a second-hand backpack. The woman's heart ached deeply. At this moment, her son asked her, "Is that man in the suit my dad?" To avoid upsetting her son, the woman lied, saying that his dad was working the night shift. "You must have seen him wrong," she said. The next second, the woman was shocked to discover the scene of her and her son working to bail her husband out had been completely captured by her husband's friends on camera. Only then did the woman realize she was nothing more than a clown for the man's amusement. Seeing them work hard to raise money for his bail, the man felt no guilt at all. Instead, he felt quite smug. It wasn't until he saw his friends testing the woman's love for him that they deliberately caused trouble for the woman. The man angrily knocked his friend to the ground. Mary asked the man if he had real feelings. The man stubbornly replied, "I only care about you and the son. She's just my entertainment when I'm bored." The woman's heart turned to stone. She left with her son. Her son asked her, "Isn't Dad actually very rich?" The woman couldn't bear to explain the truth to her son. She asked her son, "If Mommy and Daddy separated, who would you choose, Daddy or Mommy?" But the son replied, "Can we give Dad one more chance?" Because the man had promised yesterday to take him to the award ceremony for a craft competition. Upon hearing this, the woman reluctantly agreed to her son's request. After the woman coaxed her son to sleep, she finally had time to think about what to do next. She hated herself for not listening to her brother. She had left home recklessly for her husband. Just as she was hesitating whether to contact her brother, her husband rushed home with a worried look. Seeing the unhappy look on her face, the man pretended to be sorry, saying it was his fault for making his wife and son suffer. The woman didn't want to shatter her son's expectations, so she pretended to know nothing and reminded him to remember his promise to their son. The man promised he would definitely accompany their son to the award ceremony tomorrow. However, the next day, the woman waited with anticipation for her husband to appear with her son. But until the award ceremony was about to begin, she hadn't seen her husband's figure, so she had to bring her son to the ceremony alone, only to find her husband sitting in the audience with Mary and her child. Seeing this, her son asked, "Is that person my dad?" The woman immediately called her husband. The man lied, saying he was still working. Then, he hastily hung up the phone. Unbeknownst to him, the woman and son were standing in the audience, watching him stand on the stage as someone else's father. He stood on the award stage. Her son was finally completely disappointed in the man. He gave up attending the award ceremony, saying he wanted to go with his mother to a place where his dad would never find them. Hearing this, the woman called her brother. Her brother had been hoping for her to come home. He was excited and wanted to send someone to pick her up. The woman said she wanted to calm down alone first. Her brother arranged a private island for her. The woman apologized to her brother with guilt. Her brother said that everything was in the past now. As they were leaving, her son threw away his craft project, catching the man's attention. Seeing that familiar figure, the man thought he must be seeing things. The next second, the teacher announced the first prize of the craft competition. It was his and the woman's son. The man immediately panicked. As the teacher wondered why no one came up to accept the prize, she suddenly received news that the woman's son had transferred schools. So, she had to announce the cancellation of the award ceremony. The man beside her, upon hearing the news, was shocked and called the woman. He asked why why she had transferred their son to another school, and said that any problems could be solved at home. The woman coldly said, "My son and I have given you many chances, but you never cherished a single one. We don't need you anymore." After saying this, the woman hung up the phone. Then she signed her son's transfer application and left without looking back. At this moment, the man finally felt panic. He hurriedly bought a pile of gifts, hoping to go home and please the woman, only to find the house empty.